Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the Ben Nevis BN-3010G. This is the watch I just bought from AliExpress for $15. These started showing up on AliExpress not too long ago. I looked it up, and it is pronounced Nevis, not Nevis. So the question is, why even bother to review such a cheap watch? Well, first of all, I bought it because I was curious. I liked the looks of it, but could you really buy a decent watch for that cheap amount? And also, I think it's very important that cheap watches be reviewed also. Because when you spend a lot of money on a watch, you're guaranteed that the watch is at least going to work. Well, mostly guaranteed. But when you spend very little on a watch, you can get a complete piece of junk. And believe it or not, the unboxing video I did for this watch is the most popular video I've ever made. So I just figured if everybody is watching the unboxing video, they probably want a review also. Let's start out with the wrist check. I'm wearing my Pagani Design 300-meter diver's watch. And Grogo is wearing my Liege, homage to the Hulk Submariner Rolex. Grogo wanted to wear a green watch, and since I'm reviewing the Ben Nevis, he had to settle for the Hulk. I asked Grogo if reviewing such a cheap watch as this Ben Nevis would hurt my credibility as a watch reviewer. And Grogo said, if you're not credible, then doesn't that make you incredible? Here's the watch, and it's inside the plain cardboard box that it came with. You don't get a fancy box with this one, but it did come in a box, so at least it was protected. The watch is a big watch. It's 45.6 millimeters wide at the bezel, 52.5 millimeters lug to lug, has a 20 millimeter lug width, and 11.3 millimeters high, and 86 grams weight. It's a big watch, but the lugs at least slope down, so it wears a little bit better than a watch this size would. The case is a chrome-plated alloy. You can usually tell that because every bit of it is shiny. Plus it says stainless steel case back. So usually when it says stainless steel case back, that means the rest of it isn't. The crystal is just your basic mineral glass. I don't think it's acrylic. And it's obviously not sapphire, not for $15. The face has a nice flat color and applied indices. And then there's the Ben Nevis logo. The logo doesn't look too bad. It's not applied, it's painted on. It's a simple quartz movement. It doesn't tell you which one, and I didn't feel like opening the back to look. But if you look, the second hand hits all the marks. So if you have that quartz watch second hand OCD where you just can't stand it if the second hand isn't lined up, this one's lined up just great. The movement hacks. See, the second hand stopped. But I don't know if you can tell, but when it's in the hacked position, sometimes the minute hand can move around. So you have to be careful when you set it. But unlike my American Aviator or my Invicta Mickey Mouse watch, when you do set it to the right place and push in the crown, the minute hand doesn't jump. So at least you can set it precisely. You just have to be careful and make sure it doesn't move on you before you push in the crown. The crown is not signed, and it's not a screw-in crown, but it is at the 4 o'clock position, which makes it nice for such a big watch, because then the crown doesn't dig into your wrist. And it's truly at the 4 o'clock. I noticed some watches, the crown's at 3:45, and just that 15 minutes makes a big difference. The bezel is a 60 click, and the action isn't too bad. It's kind of mushy, but there's just the right amount of resistance. It's not too light It's not too heavy, not too soft, and the clicks are solid. There is, however, plenty of back play, but that's to be expected on a $15 watch. But it doesn't move back and forth this way. Also, when you go to line it up, you have to kind of move it into perfect alignment. It just doesn't snap there. The bezel insert looks cheap. And of all the things about this watch that makes it look cheap, I would say the bezel insert is the biggest one. The strap is a nice silicone strap, and it has the Tsunami logo, similar to the Seiko. I don't think Seiko can trademark this because it's based on a famous painting that's definitely in the public domain. Has a sign buckle and two free floating keepers. Plus the case back has the Ben Nevis logo, and it has just 30 meters of water resistance. This is definitely not a diver's watch. Here we are in the Lume room. Let's give it a good zap. Okay, let's turn off the lights. And there's the Lume. As you can see, the Lume on the hands and the Lume pip isn't that bad. But the Lume on the indices is a joke. It doesn't last very long at all. And as you can see, it is fading fairly quick. But once again, this is a $15 watch. You can't expect Seiko quality Lume. What do I like about this watch? Well, I like the design. Even though it's derivative of popular diver watches, it does have its own unique look. It's not a direct copy of a different diver. No one would look at this and say, oh, that's an SKX. I like the comfortable silicone strap. It feels real good, has nice flex to it, and you can wear it nice and tight so it doesn't slide around without being uncomfortable. And I like the fact that the second hand hits all the marks. I often get the second hand OCD. What are my gripes and groans? Well, the bezel insert. The bezel insert looks really cheap, and it really cheapens the entire watch. Plus, I think that fat hour hand is just too fat. I wish they would slim it down just a bit. But I must recommend this watch, especially at the price point. $15, you're getting a decent watch. It is clearly not a piece of junk. It doesn't seem like a toy watch, something you would get out of a gumball machine or anything like that. So, if you are interested in this watch, I think it's worth $15. Thank you for watching my review. Be sure to come back for another review or unboxing. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Bye.